Hello, everyone. We are going to wrap up the story of Yiftach today, and it is going to be one exciting ending. Here we go. So, the previous lesson, we learned about how Yiftach tried to make peace with the people of Ammon, but he was not successful. They didn't want to listen to him. They ignored him. So at that point, Yiftach realized that we have to go to war. And Hashem, Vatial Yiftach, Ruach Hashem. There was on Yiftach something called Ruach Hashem, which means, and the spirit of Hashem was on him. So that gave Yiftach, that spirit of Hashem gave Yiftach super strength. Vayavor et Gilad ve'et Menashe, vayavor et Mitzpeh Gilad u'Mitzpeh Gilad avar b'nei Ammon, and he, with all that strength, he starts rallying up all of the soldiers, all of the people in these areas, in Gilad and Menashe, and the Mitzpeh Gilad, and Mitzpeh Gilad. He gathers people together to fight with him. And then Yiftach does something very interesting. Basically, what we're about to see is that Yiftach talks to Hashem, and he says to Hashem, God, listen, I want to make a deal with you. Here's my deal. And this is called a neder. Yiftach made a neder, which is really translated as a promise or a vow. He promised Hashem something. He said, Hashem, if I win the war, meaning if you help me win this war, Hashem, I promise that the first thing I see when I come home, I will dedicate it to you. Whatever it is, whatever value it might have, it doesn't matter. I'll give it to you. And let's read where he says that. Vayidar Yiftach neder laHashem, and Yiftach made a promise to Hashem. Vayomer, and he said, Im naton titein et bnei Ammon biadi. If you give me the people of Ammon, v'haya hayotze asher yetzi midalte beiti lekrati, whatever I see when I come home, beshuvi b'shalom ibnei Ammon, from returning in peace, from winning the war, v'haya la Hashem, I promise to give it to you. V'aliteu ola, and I will give it to you as a korban. I will dedicate it, whatever it is, it will be to you. And so, now, let's turn on some music, and let's see what happens. Vayavor Yiftach el bnei Ammon lehilachem bam. And Yiftach goes to the people of Ammon to fight them. Vayitneim Hashem biyado. Hashem gave Yiftach Ammon straight into his hands. Vayakem. He destroyed them. Me'arorer v'yad boacha. Esrim Ir, 20 cities. V'yad evel akramim, makeh gedola mi'od. A tremendous victory. Vayikanu b'nei Ammon, and the people of Ammon were weakened. Mipnei b'nei Yisrael, because of the hands of b'nei Yisrael. Vayavo Yiftach hamitzvah el beito, and then Yiftach came home. And we're about to see what greeted Yiftach when he came home. And we're hoping it's nothing bad. V'hinei bito yotzei likrato. But all of a sudden he sees it's his daughter coming to greet him. B'tupim u'b'mecholot, with drums and with flutes. She's running to him to celebrate. She wants to celebrate with him about his victory. And Yiftach was never expecting that. V'raki yechida. She was his only daughter. Ein lo mimenu beino bat. He had no other daughters, no other sons. Vayehi, and it was chirotota. When he saw her, vayikra et begadav, he tore his clothing. Vayomer, and he said, Aha, whoa, BT, my daughter. Hechra hechritani, I had made a decision. V'atait be'ochrai, and now I feel as though I've made the wrong decision. V'anochi patziti pi el Hashem, I opened my mouth to Hashem. V'lo uchal ashuv, I am no longer able to go back on what I said. And obviously at that point he had to explain to her what he promised Hashem. And his daughter said to him, Vatomer elav, Avi, my father, Patzita et picha el Hashem. You open your mouth to Hashem. Aseli kasher yatsa mi picha. Do unto me as you said to Hashem. Acharei asher asa lecha Hashem nikamot me'oivecha ibnei Amon. After all, Hashem did what he said, so you must do what you said. Vatomer el avia, Ya'aseli hadavar hazeh. But she said to her father, do this one thing for me. Harpe mimeni shnayim chadushim. Let me have 2 months. V'elcha v'yaradti el he'arim, and I will go down to the mountains. V'evkeh, and I will cry al bitulai, on my lost opportunity of never going to be getting married. Anochi, I will cry, v'rayotai, me and my friends. Vayomer lechi, and he told her, go. Vayishlach ota shnei chadashim, and he gave her 2 months. Vatelechi v'rayotea, she went with her friends, vatefk, and she cried, al betulea al harim, that she'll never be able to get married. Vayhi miket shnayim chadashim, and at the end of 2 months, vatashiv el avia, she returned to her father, vaya'as la et nidrash nadar, and he did to her the way he promised he would do. V'hi lo yada'a ish, and she never became married. Vatihi chok b'Yisrael. Miyamim yamima, it became a custom every year. Tilachna benot Yisrael, the girls of Israel go. Litanot levat Yiftach hagiladi, they go and they cry by the daughter of Yiftach. Arba yamim bashana, 4 days of the year. There's a lot more to speak about here, but I'm going to leave it at this, and we'll discuss the rest of it in class. A very tragic ending to a leader such as this one, Yiftach. Thank you for listening, and have a great night.